Hello, and welcome to Switchpoint. Today's review is on Yooka-RePlaylee, developed by Playtonic for Nintendo Switch 2. In the world of gaming, nostalgia is the perfect drug. With it, amazing things can be done. You can relive those memories and experience old games in new ways. You can take things you love from the games you played long ago and make the most glazed game of the fucking century. And even better yet, you can use your stature as a game creator to make a new game like the old classics you made. On that note, Kickstarter. The ultimate place to fund your dream project. Like a battery that looks like a condom and a lemon farm led by a dude who loves to shoot drones. However, you more likely know it by the multiple games funded and released thanks to Kickstarter. Hollow Knight being the big one, but the popular ones tend to be the games led by the beloved creators of yesteryears. The father of Mega Man's making a new game? Holy shit, I gotta get this! There's no way this could go wrong!
And make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Miner 9, Bloodstained, Nightcry. These are all games funded on Kickstarter, with the draw being that one dude who may have helped work on the game you liked is now doing this game that's like that very game you have nostalgia for. Back when games were good and never woke. Yet another one of those games was Yooka-RePlaylee. On that note, if there's one developer that retro gamers love, it's Rareware. Now, I like Rare a lot. A good chunk of their library are games that I grew up on, especially one Banjo-Kazooie. While I always preferred Mario 64, Banjo was always a great second pick for some fun, and it's a great game. Everyone agrees with me, because I'm smart, but after a kind of mid-sequel and a third game that angered millions of gamers, the series has yet to come back outside of some remasters. But in 2014, some of the developers made a new company, Playtonic, and went to Kickstarter to fund a brand new 3D collectathon platformer called Yooka-RePlaylee. It immediately made buku bucks before finally releasing in early 2017 to reviews. I didn't play it because I was too busy being in deep with the Switch's launch here, but after nearly 10 years and a supposedly pretty good spin-off, they're back with a new game, Yooka-RePlaylee, which is a current-gen remake of the original game. Oh. Well, at least I don't have to worry about being out of the loop on the story. I am curious after all. Maybe this game is a banger now. Maybe it always was. Let's find out and take a look. The game begins with the two heroes, Yooka and Laylee, looking for treasure as they get swept up in a storm and end up on some random island. They then find a special book locked up in a cage and, after releasing it, find out that this one book has the ultimate ability to rewrite reality. However, they're not the only ones to know, as this greedy-ass capital B is also wanting his hands on the book. As it gets sucked away by one of his machines, the book rips out its own pages to make sure the evil bad guy can't get it for his own gains. The goal is then clear. Get the pages and restore the book so you can get the ultimate gains. The story is fine, a solid reason to get your hands on a ton of shit to collect. However, within an hour, I completely forgot these guys are supposed to be treasure hunters. It's never brought up, it's just a reason why they're here. I wish it was more of a thing within the game. I think that would have been a fun concept. Ultimately though, my main issue story-wise is the dialogue. It's average at best and almost never gave me any chuckles, which is lame for a platformer as the genre is usually really good at being entertaining dialogue-wise. The Banjo-esque voice acting is back, but the sound bites tend to end before the dialogue finishes, which really makes the dialogue feel dead when it should feel more lively, especially when the characters stare off at each other to oblivion.
But what the hell, boy?
But hey, the game looks pretty good. It's vibrant, colorful, and bright. Each world looks distinct and fun in the visual department, and it's a real highlight. The music is also done by all the classic Rare composers, and it's right in line with their platformers of old. In fact, it's too much in line. It's a forgettable soundtrack in all regards just because it just sounds like Banjo or Donkey Kong 64 music. Okay, enough about that. Let's get to the game. It's of course a 3D collectathon platformer, where you explore big levels to collect a certain amount of the big item before you can fight the big bad guy. What missions and challenges you do are ultimately up to you. Exploring the hub world and going into the first level, it's a decent controlling game. It's got the usual feel down, but honestly, there's some things missing here that shouldn't be. For one, and this really pissed me off, there's no ledge grabbing. There were multiple times where I would jump into a platform, barely not make it, and because Yooka won't use his fucking arms, he won't grab. Every other platforming dude can grab. Why can't he? What a fucking loser. I had a lot of weird control issues, honestly. The ball mode especially feels like total shit. Before you say anything, yeah, I know it's silly and fast, so it being slippery makes sense. But my god, some of these coin challenges made me want to eat my hair. One weird thing as well is actually your moveset and how you unlock it. You don't. Once you meet the book, Laylee writes in the book that you two get excellent powers, and he makes it happen. That's it. While it is nice not having a repeat of Banjo's admittedly long-winded and boring upon replay tutorial section, it's kind of lame that you really don't grow at all as the game goes on. You're just you, and you use the powers that you've got. The game actually kind of tricked me in this regard, as the fourth world, the casino, has a challenge that this guy says needs a special ability. Okay, this must mean I need something new to tackle this. Well, I look around, I even consider looking for something for this lady's morphing ray. But no! The solution is actually a ball ram move that's pulled off by holding Y as you're in ball mode. I assume this has been there since the beginning, but I never used it up to this point. No upgrade needed, nothing. Now, I'm not expecting a skill tree or anything, thank God there isn't one, but some kind of growth would keep the game fresh. Otherwise, what you'd have is every level just feeling like another skin over the same gameplay. And well, that's kind of what we got. I will admit, the levels for the most part are okay. You've got a big tomb, an icy mountain, a spooky swamp, the aforementioned casino, and an alien planet. There's only 5 levels, but they shove a ton of pages and other collectibles within there to collect. You need 120 pages to finish the game, but between all the levels and the hub world, there's 300. God damn. Plenty of challenges can be found, and there's even different minigames as well. There's a minecart mode that, well, it's fine, as well as a retro-style puzzle action game where you play as the best character, Rextro. I love me a good old dinosaur. There's other characters as well, like a conniving snake and a fridge lady, who both act like shops to buy stuff with coins or level-specific purple collectibles. Wonder where they got that from. The items include life and stamina extenders as well as more coins, or in the fridge lady's case, game modifiers like filters, buffs, cosmetics, or even debuffs like fall damage and one-hit deaths for those challenge fiends out there. So the game sounds okay so far, right? Well, here's a secret. I just could not get into this game. I think the biggest issue for me really is the lack of creativity. Like sure, the characters are all fun, but I've seen all these characters elsewhere. Hell, even literally in one cameo's case. But the game in general is so absurdly derivative. I get the idea is to make a modern Banjo for fans, but did they really need to? Straight up, I've always had an issue with these types of Kickstarter games, honestly. Let's do the thing I'm known for, but can't make anymore because I left a big company. Sounds good on paper, but some random producer isn't the sole reason those games were good. There's a lot behind the scenes in game development, and people tend to forget that. Of all the games I mentioned earlier, how many of them were actually as good, if not better, than the games it was up against? My number 9? No, not in any universe I'm in. Bloodstained? Well, I've not played that one, so I don't know. Red Ash? Ha! Nightcry? Fuck no, that's one of the worst games I have ever played. I think the issue is just that these guys try so hard to catch lightning twice instead of proving their excellence, expanding out and making something new with the skills they say they have. I want to see fresh games, not just the same thing I've already played and in Yooka's case, can play right now on the Switch. In fact, let me be blunt. You know what my 3 favorite Rare games are? Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong Country, and Grab by the Ghoulies. A first-person shooter, a 2D platformer, and a beat-em-up. Rare may be known for their 3D collectathons, but that's only part of their wide variety of games. I know I really haven't been talking about Yooka much, and I'm sorry about that, but honestly, there's just not much left to say. Yooka-RePlaylee feels in many ways like nostalgia bait, made to appeal to the type of gamers who complain about game installation and that no good games exist anymore, as if we don't swim in great games. Some of the issues that the classic games had are somehow still in Yooka-RePlaylee, like an at times clunky camera, some of the missions being plain old shit poop, A lack of any sort of growth in moveset or character, not having a single interesting boss fight, and like I alluded to earlier, next to no want to push the curve. I genuinely think I have experienced every single thing in this game and other and definitely better platformers. I mean, God, I know this is a remake, but the original it's based off of, and from what I can tell is mostly the same just with more shit, released in 2017. 6 months later, Super Mario Odyssey dropped. The Red Plumber made this game completely wash away in the sand, and it's still better than this new version. I mean, God, 3 months previous to this release, we got Donkey Kong Bonanza. I know it's not fair to compare other platformers with a bigger team and budget, but even looking at other indie 3D platformers, we've come a long way from something so shallow, basic, and vapid. It's not all bad. Again, I think the game presentation-wise is overall solid, and it's not long either, right about 5 hours long, but I was just never into it during damn near the entire playthrough. For that reason, and it may sound mean, but I'm giving Yooka-RePlaylee a thumbs down. There's no real reason to play it unless you're a big fan of the genre, and I'm sure you already have if you are. But as a more standard fan of platformers, this did very little to try to win me over. Though maybe I'll try that DKC-styled sequel someday. Thank you again for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe like always. This has been Switchpoint, have a good day, and take care.